Good morning, everybody. It's a dog with you on a snowy Monday. Well, it's actually clearing up here in the Finger Lakes. It's the 12th of December, 2016. I've had a lot of guests on my show. This guy's been on 4 times. I think this is his 5th visit. Most popular guy in the Finger Lakes in central New York, western New York, Jeff Babinski. We're talking Del Lago. Yes, we are. And we have tons of questions to ask the guy. And, you know, before we get to Jeff, he's like a mad scientist. He's sitting there and on the couch to our left, and he's got an iPad underneath his sweater, and unfortunately, he has a red button that he can push, and if he pushed that button, we would be able to see the inside of Del Lago. That's the good news. The bad news is he's not going to push that button. It's all about suspense for Jeff and his team as we get 50 days and counting to the grand opening of the beautiful Del Lago Resort and Casino, a structure that's about 14, 15 months ago, and it's almost complete. The actual casino portion is going to be great, and everybody's pumped up, and they have a ton of questions to ask Mr. Jeff B. Without further ado, Jeff, it's good to have you on the show. Thanks for coming in. I know you have a very busy schedule.
Good to be back. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you back. This guy, every time I pull up a paper, there's a story about Del Lago. The Democrat and Chronicle did a nice piece yesterday on the Del Lago. They did a piece on Finger Lakes Racetrack. They did a piece on the casino, the dealers, etc. Did a really nice vote of confidence for what Jeff and his team are putting together at the Del Lago Resort and Casino. So, Jeff, again, we appreciate you taking some time out, but we're going to be running out of time today. We may have to get you to stay a couple minutes later. We got lots of questions, and we're going to start right now with the questions that have been posed to me from viewers and people that see me on the street, knowing that Jeff was coming in. I think this is his 5th visit since he came to town, and we appreciate him carving out a time to come in to do the Weber Show every 4 to 6 weeks. It's sort of like a timetable for Jeff. First question, Jeff, let's outline the various parking locations for the general public. As the general public arrives at the casino, the general parking is in front of the building, around the building.
Oh, yeah. As soon as you make that right or left-hand turn off of 414, you're going to come down the boulevard, and then you'll have a couple options. Go straight towards the parking garage and valet, or you can hang a right and go into our open parking lot. So we have parking lots located on the west side of the building, and then on the south side of the building. And then the parking garage, which will have over 700 spots. So that'll be straight ahead. Going to be some great parking. We're actually in the process of naming the locations, and we figured, we're in the Finger Lakes region, so why not use the lakes? So we're going to have, so when you park, just look at the sign above and see which lake you're at.
That's neat.
And that will help you identify your location. So we're excited.
Jeff, will you have valet parking for the general public? If so, the cost?
Yeah, so we will have valet parking. We have 125 spots in the lower level of the parking garage, and then another 200 really to the east of the parking garage. Now, whether or not I'm going to charge, we'll see. We'll soon see, or let you know in about 30 days. There's still some things. Our competitors are closely monitoring what we're doing, and so there's some things. As you said earlier, we want to keep some suspense.
You got that.
I don't want to tip our hat too early to the competitors.
And by the way, myself and Jimmy were scheduled to go out to see Jeff about 2-3 weeks ago. We had gotten his approval, and we were roaring to go. Jimmy had his videography stuff ready to roll. And then Jeff sent me a note and said, "Hey, dog, I hate to do this, but we want to kill this because I want to remain the suspenseful kind of a guy." And when I first got your note, I agreed with you 100% because I said, why show it until you have to show it? And I think the surprise factor is going to be a lot of wide-eyed people walking into that place. Pretty scary. And so we were scheduled to go out there, but I think the suspense factor is really neat. Next question. I realize, Jeff, it's 21 to gamble, but can I bring my kids into the casino to eat at one of the restaurants?
Will not be able to get to most of our restaurants.
Okay.
The only restaurant we'll be able to bring your children into would be Social, which is right there by the hotel area. And unfortunately, that restaurant will open with the hotel. So unfortunately, it will not be available when we open the doors February 1st.
Expand, if you would. The reason for that is if you bring your kids in to have dinner, what is the hang-up? And I have had people further ask me those questions, and you could tell us why. maybe it's a New York State law, if they're not going to gamble, which they obviously can't gamble if they're 12 or 15, what is the drawback of having them just eat?
Yeah, well, unlike, Las Vegas, where you can actually walk through the gaming floor, and you have to walk through the gaming floor typically to get to your hotel room. Most of our restaurants, with the exception of Social, are all located on the gaming floor.
Gotcha.
So, like many jurisdictions outside of Las Vegas and various states, you have to be 21 to enter the gaming floor area. So we'll have a security officer at each of those locations that you have access to the gaming floor. And again, our restaurants are located on the gaming floor, which really is convenient for our customers because you can be gaming at your favorite slot machine,
exactly,
and then you have reservations at Portico for 7 p.m. and you're right there. I mean, you literally could be playing that slot machine right across from the entrance to Portico. So it's ease and access for a consumer. Unfortunately, children will not be able to go into that restaurant.
Okay, that was asked several times to me. Will the smoking area for people that are smoking be heated?
Yes, it will.
And is there one area, or there'll be more than one?
We'll have more than one. We'll have 3 locations,
okay.
And it'll be convenient for those who are gaming and then have the desire and need to go out and have a smoke. So,
okay, a rewards players card. I know you pointed out on your Facebook Live and your Facebook page. You indicate the cards will be mailed, and that'll be sometime the end of the month, maybe?
Nope, that'll be mid-January.
Mid-January.
Okay. Stay tuned. Be on the lookout. In the mailbox at that point, at that time. As far as our players' rewards, I can tell you right now, they're going to be very competitive. I think everyone's going to be very pleased. Unfortunately, I'm not going to share those with you.
Listen, he's like a secret CIA agent. I love it. He's holding back. Well, the question was asked, will your rewards match Turning Stone's, who a lot of people have frequented over the last several years? Turning Stone has a point for $1 for every point, and they were just wondering if yours was going to be somewhat near there or consistent with that, but you say it's going to be a good program, so we'll wait and see what happens.
Absolutely.
Just play and make sure you put the card in the machine.
Yes.
And also hand the card to the dealer or to the pit boss when you arrive at a card game.
Absolutely.
Etc. Okay. Now, we heard the Divine would seat around 2,500. Now there are rumors that it will seat 1,800 and 700 or so will be standing room only. Can you verify that, or is that true or not true?
Yes. Okay, so the Vine will seat comfortably just over 1,700 spectators.
Okay. All right.
Now, when we reconfigure the room and do different things, if you want to make a pit area for people to stand, you can max it out at just over 2,400.
Gotcha. Okay. And there were also rumors floating around that you may open up with an act sometime mid-February?
We're currently negotiating and choosing our acts. Again, some of them we've finalized, but I want to wait and save that announcement for a little later. But I think everyone's going to be excited and pleased with the selections. We're going to have some great entertainment. The Vine is going to be an amazing venue, and so stay tuned. I know.
Do you see a pool being added down the road as part of the hotel?
Yeah, that's hard to say. First and foremost, our focus is on getting the casino open February 1st, and then by early summer, the hotel, the spa, and Social. So let's see how everything goes. Up. When we open up the doors to the general public on February 1st. If the demand is there and the need is there, and we need to take a look at it, then it's something we'll definitely take a look at later on down the road.
With most casinos, when you're in a casino, regardless of where you go, water is free and soda is free. Is that going to be the case at Del Lago?
Yeah, we'll offer free soda and water to our players. So, and outside of that, again, it's a very competitive market, and we will be very competitive within within upstate New York.
All right, a question that's been asked several times to me, knowing Jeff Babinski is my special guest this morning, Executive Vice President, General Manager. Oh, you talk about a busy guy for the Del Lago Resort and Casino. This is Weber This Week on a Monday, the 12th of December. Glad to have you alongside. And again, if you're checking us out right now and you have a question that I haven't posed to Jeff, feel free to call into Jimmy and we'll get it to Jeff. because he's a hard guy to get. We appreciate him taking time out of a very hectic schedule that he has. Let's talk about tax purposes and winnings at a casino, namely the Del Lago. Mm-hmm. As we all know, what is the tax level relative to how much you win at a slot machine and a card game relative to getting a 1099? Where's the limit there?
All right, so for slot machines, you're going to get a W2G when you have a single win jackpot, if you will, that starts at $1,200. Okay. So $1,200 is when you'll start to get that W2G. Outside of that, just play as normal.
But if you win a couple $1,000s in a card game, that probably isn't taxable. It isn't normally taxable, correct?
No, you're not going to receive a W2G unless it's a single win for a jackpot.
I see.
So, for instance, if you're at the Caribbean Stud game
right.
and you hit the top award, that jackpot, the progressive award, yes, you'll receive a W2G. But just winning on your various hands of blackjack or craps, you're not going to receive a W2G.
Okay. Of course, February 1st, the grand opening. 10 a.m. is the time the general public, the doors will swing open. And we're mindful of, Jeff, the stampede of the bulls in Spain. I wouldn't want to be in front of somebody as they crash through the doors. Mm-hmm. Any chance of that 10 a.m. being earlier?
10 a.m. on February 1st is set.
Okay.
Now, it's not to say that I'm not going to do a little invite-only preview, come in and play a little bit before we open to the general public. So, again, I think it's all about suspense and building it up. And, stay tuned to our Facebook page and check out our latest promotions. And who knows, I may announce a little private invite-only
I
session.
like that. Listen, by the way, that morning of February 1st, you are having special guests being brought in, dignitaries, and then a press conference, correct? Before the doors open?
Yeah, that'll be. We'll say a few words.
Yep.
Thank the public. Thank everybody who's given us support.
Mm-hmm.
Do that cutting of the ribbon, if you will, and then game on.
Game on. Oh, the sound of the machines is going to be classic. Let's see. Another question is posing. We're going through these pretty good. That's just great. We can talk about some other things when we get done with this. Okay, this is one that I was asked 3 times over the weekend. Dog, I applied for a job at the casino. I was interviewed, and I was told that I would hear back in a week or so. It's been 3 weeks, and no word. Will I hear either way?
Yeah, you should. Now, if there's not to say that somebody kind of slipped through the cracks.
Right.
As of this morning, we have just 8 applications shy of 12,000.
Wow.
So everyone's interested in joining our team. Mm-hmm. So if that is the case and you haven't heard back within 3 weeks, definitely give us a call. We can take a look at what happened. Again, a lot to manage. Our HR team has been doing a great job so far. But again, with 12,000 applications, a lot to go through. We have now hired. We have over 113 people currently working today, and we have another 400 that have been hired, offered positions, and just have yet to start. So we have over 500 team members. We're still looking to get to close to 1,500 for the initial opening of February 1st, and then another 300 when the hotel comes online. So still a lot of jobs out there. If you haven't applied and you're interested, please check us out at delagoresort.com.
Will the liquor license be on site when you open on February 1st?
Yes. We feel confident that it will have everything locked in, ready to roll to the general public on February 1st.
Okay. Will customers get other casinos send out things, and maybe this is something Jim Rafferty's going to do with his group? Will they get free slot play, free room opportunities, dinner promotions like they get from Turning Stone and other casinos based on their play?
Yes. I mean, we're definitely going to do all the above. But to get into details, we're not just ready yet.
Sure.
We have finalized it internally. And you'll see some information come out, when you get that player's card in January.
Well, we went through all 12 questions. Pretty interesting. And certainly I was amazed that we'd go through them so fast. And I appreciate Jeff's responses. Jeff, talk about dealer school. I know you had a story in the Democrat Chronicle outlining and spotlighting some of the folks that got through the phase of it and that they're going to be dealing cards for you. Where does that stand? You got another school kicking off. Give us an idea of where we are with dealers.
Yeah, so we had, I think it was 114 that made it through our first session, which started on October 3rd. Very proud of them. We have a lot of great dealers that came out of school. And 114 auditioned and 114 made it through and have been offered positions. We got second class in motion right now. That started November 28th. And our goal is to get 100% completed and auditioned and onto our payroll. So, it's a great time. It's very exciting for us. And, the one thing, when you walk through the dealer school, they're having fun, They're enjoying it, they're learning a lot. So we have a great team, and I'm very excited.
And that's going to be very interesting to see how that unfolds because certainly, as Jeff pointed out many times, it's not, certainly the skill of being a dealer is important, but being kind and having fun with the player is most vital to Jeff because they want to have a good time whether you're winning or whether you're losing, and to make your day a day that is something that will remind you to come back very soon after you leave the facility. So, I was thinking about that, and then we'll take a commercial break and play our spots. Just one more thing, Jeff, relative to that. Looking at the dealer school, you got 3-card poker, 4-card poker, you got Let It Ride, which is one of my favorite games to play. Then there's craps. It's a game that I've never really participated. I know you're extremely proficient in that. It's a game that has always perplexed me watching it unfold. I really don't know what the game's all about. I know it's about dice and it's about numbers that you throw, but there's so many people playing so many different bets. It's mind-boggling for me anyways to think about. That has to be, in my view, the hardest one to understand. Is that a fair statement? Craps?
Yeah, and that's why it takes anywhere between 8 and 10 weeks for the dealers to go through those classes where you can knock out blackjack in 4 to 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Because, you got a lot of people putting chips down at various spots. Somebody's got to be watching all that and to be determining what the payouts are if they hit it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have, 36 possibilities on the outcome for the dice. And then, each one of those are, it's a lot easier to make a 7 than it is to make a 12. So you have different payouts and different odds. So, you play the pass line. That's the easiest to play. If it's a come-out roll, meaning a point hasn't been established, you're looking for a 7 or 11 to win, even money on that pass line bet. Now, if a 2, 3, or 12 is rolled, obviously the house is going to take that one.
Sure.
But then, you establish a point. If it's a 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, or 10, the goal is to try to make that number before a 7 is rolled. So. It's a great game. It's a fast-paced game. It's an exciting game. So, if you want to learn and the table's not busy, please ask one of our dealers. Hey, I'd like to learn this game, and they'll be happy to go over the game with you as you're walking by.
In all my trips when I was at Google's going to Vegas for sales meetings, I used to either play slots or play different card games, usually 4-card poker, 3-card poker, or Let It Ride. And I would hear these roars, extreme roars from the craps table when somebody was hot. Is that what they call her on a roll? They just keep winning, and the people that are supporting them and backing them, they're also winning.
Well, yeah, when it's fun to be on a game when somebody's rolling the dice for a long period of time and they're on that roll, because it's exciting. People are winning, especially if you're making a lot of points and you're taking odds. It's going to be a fun game and you can make a lot of money. With craps, though, it can also go real quick.
Oh yeah, so. Oh yeah. I know a game that can go real quick, and that's blackjack. You get a hot dealer, you're done. Yeah, you're toast. Can't number the times I've sat with 18 and 19 and gotten beaten. Jeff Babinski's our special guest. He's been on the air here with me for about 4 or 5 times. I think he's been in the house, and we appreciate him taking time out to join us, and I'm sure he will continue. And by the way, let's take our commercial break, play the great sponsors, including Del Lago, come back and talk a little bit more. We're here with Jeff Babinski, the Executive Vice President, General Manager of Del Lago. Stay with us. Cayuga Lake National Bank. Visit Bill Ryan and his team for all of your banking needs. Offices in Union Springs and Aurora, a fine sponsor of this show for over 30 years. DA Liquor on Bridge Street in Seneca Falls. Amy Padula and her team will find the right spirit for you every time. When you stop in, tell Amy the dog sent you. Steve Wadhams and Wadhams Enterprises, your local employer of choice. Proud supporter of Weber This Week and local athletics. Fill out an application at wadhams.com. The Gould Hotel welcomes you to come out and enjoy the revitalization of this historic downtown Seneca Falls landmark. Every Wednesday is Ladies' Night with special price drinks and half-priced appetizers. Learn more at thegouldhotel.com. The Omen Theater on William Street in Lyons. See what's playing this week at omentheater.com. Located off New York State Thruway Exit 41, the Maggie Diner has earned their reputation as a popular family restaurant, serving country, fresh, home-cooked meals daily. Stop in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and check out their menu at McGeeDiner.com. Del Lago Resort and Casino will feature a luxurious 205-room hotel, several restaurants ranging from casual to fine dining, and a 2,500 capacity entertainment venue called The Vine. The casino will have 2,000 slot machines, 75 table games, and 10 poker tables. Visit www.dellagoresort.com. Seneca Metals is an award-winning company that has earned a reputation of going above and beyond to protect the environment and support their community. As an EPA inspector once said, their operation is head and shoulders above the rest. The Seneca Falls Country Club, awesome 18-hole layout, open to the public, and a 12-month payment plan for members. Check out SenecaFallsCountryClub.com. And the Newark Pilots of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League, a minor league team with a major league ballpark. Season ticket packages available at NewarkPilots.com. And the Wilson Press in Seneca Falls. My good pal Rich Rickey and his team can handle all of your printing and mailing needs. Visit them online at wpress.com. Rich Rickey and Wilson Press, a fine sponsor of Weber This Week. Welcome back, everybody. It's the Dog with you on a Monday morning. Good to have you with us. Special guest, good friend Jeff Babinski, Executive Vice President, General Manager. And Jeff, you know, you have been adding executives to run different disciplines for your casino, certainly. Where do you stand on that line? I know that you were flashing through the Facebook Live that we checked out, and you have a new entertainment guy in to oversee the entertainment side of it. But where do you stand? You got a lot of those jobs filled and more to come?
Yeah, now we're filling, our management positions, our supervisor positions, and really looking for our cream, the employees that are going to be out there day in and day out, the frontline team members that are going to do an amazing job for us. So, still a lot of positions out there, still a lot to do for our HR team. We're having job fairs weekly. So again, stay in touch with us on Facebook if you're interested in joining our team. But it's exciting. We're less than we're 50 days out, so 50 it's crunch time. Now you gotta take that ball and cross the finish line, get it into the end zone, if you will, and score. So we're excited. I know people are excited out there, and I can't wait to see their faces when they walk through and check out Del Lago for the first time.
And by the way, we are expected to, we've got a commitment from Frank Nabarski, who's the Vice President of Slots. He's due to come in on the show the first Monday of January. Frank Nabarski is arriving here on January 2nd. He's confirmed that he's coming. We'll hope and pray that he does show. We had him earlier scheduled, but because the machines arrived. How long does it take, by the way? Somebody asked me that question. When you have 2,000 slot machines, how long does it take to get one machine up and running and online?
Well, it depends on systems first and foremost. So,
okay.
We actually have it down to a science and have that specific breakdown on a spreadsheet. So when you really, from the time the truck arrives until you take it, you wheel it off, get it positioned on a slot base, it's about 115 minutes really dedicated to getting that machine prepped and ready for play. And then then you got to do your testing, your 10-coin test, make sure everything checks out, verify it in the system, and then you're ready to go. So you take that and multiply that by 2,000 devices. So it takes them a good amount of time. They're doing a great job. We have over 800 machines on the floor right now, with more being delivered over the next 2 weeks. Some are already even powered on right now, and the floor is looking great. And I think everyone's going to be excited.
Now you've sent a lot of congratulatory messages out to the tradesmen that have been a part of this from day one. I flash back to when you along with John and Jimmy Wilmot took us on a tour, me and Mary, for our 50th wedding anniversary. And I remember just seeing a lot of dirt. And you were telling us, don't step in this mud. And to me, it's just mind-boggling, all the great tradesmen and all the great people that have done the work out there and just have turned this into what your dream was and what the ownership's dream is. Say a couple words about how impressed you are with the people that have actually worked in there. It's amazing.
And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I mean, the contractor, the subcontractor, the trades, they have been amazing to work with, and have actually, when you go back to that last or that final piece of steel going in place on April 8th,
it's amazing.
People are like, oh man, I can't believe you're going to open on February 1st. Still got a lot to do. Well, I mean, just go back to April 8th when that last piece of steel went into place to where we are today. And
scary.
It's our hats off to the union, the trades, the subcontractors, and everybody really taking this product and taking a vision and taking it to where it is today. And again, I think it's something that they're going to be proud of, we're going to be proud of, and I can't even begin to thank everyone who's done work on this job site. So thank you. You guys have done an amazing job. It's something you guys should definitely be proud of. I know I am, and my team is. So thank you again for everything that you've done.
Well, certainly there was an article yesterday in the Democrat relative to Finger Lakes Gaming, relative to Del Lago cannibalizing them upon opening, talking about taking away funds and dollars. And I thought it was interesting. Steve Greenberg, one of the representatives of Del Lago, one of the media guys, and who's been on the show a few times as well, talked about that Finger Lakes had an opportunity to apply for a casino license as well. Mm-hmm. You made a comment that you thought that everybody could work together and everybody would be fine, and there's no question of that when you open, it's going to affect, no doubt about it. What is your stance on this? I mean, you mentioned the paper. You are trying to put together this casino. It's been given a grant. You've gone through a lot of court cases against the casino. You've won every one of them. Your view is what now? Your view is, hey, we've opened this casino. We're going to do the best job we can, and you have no ill will against any other operation.
No, I don't. And, I've been on the side, of Finger Lakes where other competitors enter the market. And again, from a consumer standpoint, we're going to be competitive from a marketing standpoint. And it gives the consumer choices. Mm-hmm. And, if you become stagnant and you don't market, to certain players, I think now, the players are gonna see a lot of offers in their mailbox. Yep. And now it's time for them to make a decision and a choice. So, it's tough. Yes, it's you got casinos coming in daily. I've been in markets where other casinos have come in, and you just gotta work hard. It's work. You got to be competitive. So, you can't lose that competitive spirit, and we're excited to be part of it. We want to help grow the region. Mm-hmm. We don't want to monopolize it. We want to help grow the region. We want to bring 3.2 million visitors to the Finger Lakes region. We want people to go out and explore. That's why we're also going to partner with various merchants through our Power Loyalty, our rewards program, so that you can take your points from the card you use in our four walls and then take it out and redeem points outside of Del Lago. So, it's not just about, us. It's about being part of the region and part of the community, and I think that's what's important, and that's what we're trying to drive home. We want to be a big part of this region and the Finger Lakes, and we hope people get out there and explore everything that this great area has to offer.
And well said. And I wanted you to make a comment on that because certainly it was made a big deal out of it relative to the fact that you're going to open up and that you're going to steal customers, et cetera, et cetera. But like you say, you got to just bear and grin and work harder to get your piece of the pie. And interesting to see what happens. A lot to take place, folks, and 50 days and counting. Jeff's putting his executive team together. A lot will be happening, and certainly I should point out that Jeff has been kind enough to be a guest on this show many times, and he will continue to be. And he's also given myself and Jimmy the opportunity to maybe starting in March, we'll give him some time to get the flexibility working out, to maybe go out and do a show from there once a month and have some fun and introduce all the executives and maybe even bring some patrons to the table to talk. So we would look forward to maybe doing that starting in March. We'll get the okay from the marketing group up there in Rochester, our friend Juliana. But I think it'd be neat to just do the show, Weber, this week from the Del Lago Casino, but do it like an hour show and have some of his people come in and talk to us and do it maybe at a time where he thinks is the best during the day to do such a show. So we are working on that. We will continue to work on that. And Jeff's been a kind person to help us to get that done. A couple of sports notes, and before we get back to Jeff, we're running a couple minutes past. We want to remind you, if you're a Bills fan, check out the ESPN ticker tape this morning because a lot of controversy in Buffalo this morning. I was telling the guys before I come on the air this morning, if you want to see how the fans in Buffalo feel about the loss yesterday at Pittsburgh, and it was really not 27-20 if you watch the game, thanks to Big Ben throwing 3 INTs. A lot of people are upset. A lot of people are upset. I read about 75 comments this morning. There wasn't one that was pro-Buffalo and pro-Rex Ryan or pro-Tyrod Taylor. Interested to see what's going to happen. The Pagula family owned the Sabres. They're the multi-billionaires that own these operations. Interesting, they made a comment a week ago. He wasn't going to make any changes till the end of the season, which is 3 more games. So we'll have to wait and see how that all pans out in the fire. Hey, congratulations. You're a Giant fan. Big win last night. The Cowboys lead 7-0. The Giants come back and win it 10-7 if you fell asleep like I did, unable to watch the remainder of it. And, of course, now the Cowboys still are in a very good position. And let's say congratulations goes out to Jeff Rook and his dad, Bob, and all the people associated with it. I know Jeff will agree with me on this. It's a Wonderful Life weekend. It couldn't have been any better. Had the little snow coming down. Jimmy did a great job with the video. Spectacular. Unbelievable. I can't emphasize enough how impressed the nation was. We had it on ABC, CBS, CNN. All the major networks covered it. Al Roker was in town. He did some interviews with the 3 kids that were in the film. They'll show that later in the month of December when they play the movie It's a Wonderful Life for the 9 millionth time. So should be spectacular. And Jeff, I know you live not in Seneca Falls, but it means a lot to this little town of Seneca Falls to get that notoriety. It's been fantastic.
Absolutely.
Oh, fantastic. Well, my friend, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. We wish you nothing but the best. And probably a dumb question, are you going away for the holidays or are you going to be stuck at Del Lago?
I will be at Del Lago.
I could have guessed that without even asking that. God bless your family. I know they know that you're beared down to get this thing rolling, and we look forward to seeing February 1st come, and it won't be that long away, folks. 50 days and counting. By the way, next week we're going to bring one of our own people on the air to talk about his outstanding work, along with Jimmy, the new webpage Finger Lakes One, plus his bi-weekly article in the Finger Lakes Times talking about Josh Durso. Josh Durso will be my special guest next week here on the Weber Show. Then we're off until January the 2nd. And we hope to have Frank Naborski, the Vice President of Slots for Del Lago Resort and Casino. So, Jeff, thanks again.
Thank you.
All right. Speaking for Jeff Babinski, Executive Vice President, General Manager of Del Lago, and Jim Sonacrobi, it's the dog bidding you farewell, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show.